Hey everyone, it's Nathis. I just recently posted a video of myself opening a booster kit from Battle for White Fang Pass, and from that I decided there was a deck that I thought would be the best sealed pairing from that booster. So what I did was I paired that deck on the SolForge Fusion website, and I'm gonna try it in the online queue and see if it plays as well as I would hope. So first of all, here's the list. So it is a Tempest Utera. So first of all, there's a Windy Stonefist, which can be used as removal. We've got a Rageborn Eruptor, which synergizes with Exalts. We have Exir Mech Mage, which basically whenever we play spells, we could activate to deal damage. A Combat Evoker, which buffs whenever we play spells. We got a Stampeding Warstoker, which has Breakthrough and could really help push some damage. We have an Unstable Vortex, which can buff and then be used as damage. So again, we have a lot of options for creatures to either gain power or really do some removal. Now, from the Utera side, we've got a Shardplate Behemoth, which is a pretty big threat initially because it's coming out as a 0/8, but it's going to be dealing damage with its toughness instead of its power. So that could just really help us push. And then, honestly, people don't really want to block it because it's a big creature that's going to eat almost anything that it blocks or that blocks it. So it's just a really big body, but every time it takes damage, obviously, it's going to deal less in the future. We've got Mustic Nigatha, which whenever we play an Exalt, it'll get a buff. And if it has enough power, it's got Breakthrough. We've got Combat Elk, which whenever we slay, we gain life. We've got Experience Steel Plate, which whenever we replace a creature, we could give either itself, the adjacent creatures in itself, or everything +3/+3. We've got Mystical Tangle Sprout, which lets us either buff health or attack in health. And then we've got a Swamp Moss Lurker, which can be played for free if we have enough health. We've got a Hibernating Ravager, which gets a boost if we have enough health. And we've got Combat Bartok, which the next creature we play gets a buff. So honestly, a lot of creatures here just have a lot of opportunity to gain additional attack, and we have some Breakthrough here, which is just, again, we could potentially play very aggressively. Now our spell package is what makes this really interesting. So on the Tempest side, we have Ice Storm, which is removal. We've got Disintegrate, which is removal. And we've got Warbringer Ritual, which after level 1, it makes spell sprites and it lets us play spells for free. Then we also have on the Utera side a Botanimate, which is basically hard removal. Now, in addition to that, the part that's really interesting is this Thunder Crash Field. So with all the things that make us gain attack in this deck, Thunder Crash Field can really help us deal direct damage to our opponent. In addition to that, we have Venom Chalice, which is pseudo removal. So again, we have a lot of removal, a couple ways to play free spells, and then our Sunder, who's what's the Forgeborn we're using, has Stimbolt at level 2 to play free spells, and then Gale Surge, which gives us mobility and attack. So again, we could really just potentially pump out a lot of damage. So this is the deck we're going to try. I feel like this is a pretty strong list for one booster, and I'm interested to see how it goes. So we're going to try to jump in an online battle, see if we can get an opponent, and then we'll go from there. We'll see if there is enough people playing on the queue right now. I know a little earlier it was a little spotty just because it is about 9:30 Eastern my time. So we'll see if we can get anybody into a game. Worst case, we could play an online battle or a solo battle with this list. But it'll be really nice to get an online battle with it. Here we go. We found a match. And we were playing against the Manly One, which is Rusty. Awesome. So this will be cool. All right, so looking at our hand, we probably need to play out the Warbringer Ritual just so we could get free spells for later. Galician Rain here, which definitely can be really strong later in the game. So now I guess my question is, what's more important for me to play? I think upgrading our Botanimate is probably really strong here. So we're going to Botanimate it, even though it's not really helping us too much. It's just so we have it leveled for later. Also, if we draw our Swamp Moss next turn, we could play it for free. Oh, Betrayer Your Anti-Elementalist. This is a really strong deck that he's playing. I remember seeing it before. He's messaging me now being like, hey, what's up? All right. So I think here we have to go Thunder Crash Field first, and then see what he plays. Unfortunately, we did not hit the what's it called, Swamp Moss Lurker. So I guess before he plays minions, we do have to Ice Storm. That's just Yeah, 'cause he's gonna play minion. I just feel it in my bones. Even though we don't get the buff off the Thunder Crash, it's just important to drop that and kill that. Yep, the Drix is coming out. So I was going to play the Thunder Crash field, but honestly, I think I'd prefer to kill this Drix before it could do too much. So the question is it going to be the Mustic Megatha that does, or the Sharpplate Behemoth? And I think the Megatha will be a little stronger here. So we'll level that. I'm taking 6, so our Swamp Moss Lurker is now offline. Granted, I could have just blocked... No, I was going to say I could have blocked the Uranti Elementalist and hoped that I drew it and then got it for free, but it is what it is. So now here I've got a decision to make. I want to use my Disintegrate. Maybe we just Mystical Tangle Sprout here to block, and when we do that, we could buff the toughness of one of our creatures. If he kills it immediately, that's fine. But I'm not going to activate now, because if he uses resources to kill a Mystical Tangle Sprout, I'm not super upset. Okay, well, that situation, I kind of wish I used it, but at least now I could use either the Disintegrate or the Stampeding Warstoker to kill here. A 6/6 is a lot easier to remove than an 8/3. Or sorry, than a 6/9. So I think here, looking at life totals, probably I want to... This will die. These will trade. What's the Warstoker? Become a 10/7 with Breakthrough. I kind of like that. So we're just going to do this. If he kills it, he kills it. See, now I'm regretting not buffing this by 2. But I was going to say, hey, whichever one needs to be buffed, I'll buff it later. So unfortunately, I do not have any Exalts on the field for this Rageborn Eruptor. And we've also played 3 spells, so we could do 3 damage off of the Windy Stone Fist. Alright, so we're definitely Botanimating the Oak Father here. Too bad I do not have Ice Storm. So if we Botanimate first, we can Windy second for 4 damage. So that's probably what we're going to do. And then I could also use my free spell. So, sorry, we Botanimate second. I'm going to end up using my free spell for the Botanimate. So I could go probably Mystical Tangle Sprout into Windy, then buff the Windy so it kills here. So that's the move. If he kills it, he kills it. Not the end of the world. Yeah, that's not the worst. Now, if he Dark Forge Drains on the Oak Father, I'll feel real nice for having this Botanimate. But as I'm playing through this turn, honestly, I do see a lot of potential in this list. I feel like there's a lot came on the board very quickly. So let's see. Let's just make sure how many spells are in my banish pile. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will play... Oh no, I was supposed to use the free spell. And we're going to go Windy Stone Fist. We're going to deal 4 damage to the Hunter. We're going to buff the Stone Fist to give it +2/+2. And we're taking 6, but we have 7/2 that could become a 9/4 if it needs to be. So this Ice Storm here will clear the board. Part of me wants to wait in case I need to remove something else. So that's probably going to be my second play. Stampeding Warstoker and then giving it a buff feels real nice. So that's probably what we're going to do. 12/9 with Breakthrough. So now we definitely Ice Storm to kill that. I cannot let that Steel Eye live. So now he could technically... Oh, I was going to say, if he were to Dark Forge Drain or Elysian Rain or something like that. Although Dark Forge Drain is not coming out, thank goodness. So we're second here, which is good in terms of potentially dealing with a Dark Force Drain. Tricks. We're definitely disintegrating that Tricks right away. I think we will also... I don't think I want to buff. Right now, if he plays a Hunter, it's not going to kill it unless he Dark Forge Drains and then plays the Hunter. So, you know what? We'll buff this. Probably not the best move, but we'll do it. Got to put some pressure here. Oh, no. This is now going to get the buff with Breakthrough. 22, 23. That is not great for me. So we'll block as much as we can. I'm probably dying very soon. I guess I just really need to hit that Botanimate here, which we did not. And we also didn't hit a spell with the Warbringer Ritual, which is kind of brutal. We do have Gale Surge, which can help us a little bit. I think at this point, we probably need to go Bartok into Behemoth, maybe, just so we can prevent as much damage as possible. We do have Gale Surge, which could help push a little damage. But I do think we're going to start with Bartok. And I guess it's better to push a little than it is to block 2 more. The Gale Surge is helpful here because it gives everything mobility too. So I could kind of arrange my board a little bit. Here the power doesn't matter because it's dealing damage with its toughness. So I guess we will start by... We'll mobility this. Let's see what his ability is. 8 armor. And then we will block 8, or I guess 10, and deal 10 back. I think this is our best bet. I'm taking 12 at least. Now, if he has removal, I'm taking more. Let's hope there's no removal here. Energy Prison is not great for me. So we'll see what he gets, but I basically need to hit Botanimate here, especially because I assumed he was going to use armor to make sure his stuff stays alive. So I'm at 5, he's at 15. We did hit our Botanimate, so we potentially live through this turn. Likely not, though, because I can only block one thing and Botanimate. So I'm going to take 9, at least. So I'm definitely dead. But for the spirit of trying our best, we Botanimate and we take... Oh, yeah, we take even more now. So we're taking 16. Definitely dead. That being said, though, this felt pretty good. Now, I saw a lot of the potential here. I did not really get to take a lot of advantage of some of the synergies. Sorry, I just got a message him back saying good game. I did not get to take advantage of enough of the synergies because he gained a lot of value very quickly. But that being said, definitely not upset about this list. I was able to push a lot of damage, and we'll try one more online battle while I'm talking about this. But we were able to push a lot more damage than I expected, even without using a lot of that spell synergy. But I definitely am glad that I was pushing that Botanimate, but he just built a board a little too quickly. I think Lycian Rain is just an incredible card that if you can get it leveled up, especially if you have other minions in your list, it can just be backbreaking to play against. So let's see if we could get one more game going on the queue. If not, I'll play one game against the computer, but let's hope we could get one more in to see how this deck feels. All right, so I guess on these off hours, sometimes it could definitely take a little bit of time, but let's hope we could find one more. And as we're doing, I was gonna say, as we're doing this, I am also trying to add, because the manly one, Billy Bad Aim on the Discord, is who I just played, and I had to make sure I added him on Steam so we could play more games easier. So I'm gonna hit cancel here. I'm gonna see if he accepts a friend battle from me. So that way we could just get one more game going. Oops. Waiting for a friend to respond. We'll see if we get one more going that way. He said sure. All right, so we're gonna get into a game very shortly. But like I said, that deck pushed a lot more damage than I kind of was expecting, which was very nice. So overall, in a sealed situation, I do think it would potentially be pretty strong. Because again, I didn't get to use my plan A from the way that I had the deck built, but I was able to play enough just nice big creatures that made me feel still strong. So it's like when I make a deck, it's really important for me to have multiple avenues of play. So he actually just invited me to a call. So we might as well talk through as we're playing. So here, I'm going to jump on that call with Rusty.
What's
Hey,
up,
what's up?
man?
So I am actually recording a video because I did a sealed deck opening and I'm playing a couple games with it. So I'm going to play the same deck again. But I just want to let you know that I'm recording something before we start talking. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
um,
What kind of something do you want to play against? Something
any
similar?
anything you'd like. I just, again, like I said, I opened a kit earlier today and I recorded it and made a sealed deck from it. And I was like, you know what, it'll be fun to play a couple games with this list, um, just on the
Hmm.
client. And it was funny because when we got paired, I'm like, oh, this is Rusty. So yeah, I was like, it'll be fun to play one more game. But after this, I do have to go.
Hmm. That's all good.
But at some point soon, like you said, I'd love to just grind some games and like play some more
Hmm.
competitive stuff or more fun stuff, whatever you feel. But
Yeah, it'd be nice if they get the soul binds working good, so Nova
yeah,
can dominate the meta again.
I know, right? Ooh, Betrayer Drix.
Hmm.
I see what you're doing.
Picking up what I'm
Um,
putting down over here. Yeah.
yes,
Did you like play against that betrayer
I
around T
did.
element?
I did. No, why do you have to have isolate there?
There's like I want to play all the cards in my hand, but you
Um,
forced my hand.
Now unfortunately, I feel like I wanted to play a Wordbringer Ritual here, but I just want to get rid of Drix. So we're gonna play a not free Swamp Moss.
Yeah. I had a Centetta's Lab, a Pokemancer, and a Walker in my hand.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like a pretty crazy hand. I could also say this Thunder Crash is probably not the best play in my hand, but I really want
Yeah.
to play it for the sake of where I think this deck can be.
Mm-hmm.
Venerable Demon is pretty nice. I just play something over this Gizmo and kill my stupid Rageborn Eruptor. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure.
No! I was lying! Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely the thing you hit because everything else is dying on my side.
That's what you do, just play big shit, right?
Exactly.
Big stuff. Get there. Are you recording the audio too?
I am, as long as that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
At least I think
I
I
don't.
am. Yes, I am.
Okay. Might hear my cat too.
That's totally fine.
He's going to town over here.
I love Vampiric Geist. It becomes like such a house too at levels 2 and 3 in terms of its stats.
Mm-hmm.
I think
This deck is a lot of fun that I'm playing now.
Oh, I could tell.
You got to play against the Betrayer Uranti, though. What'd you think of that list?
I did. That was a lot of fun to see. Definitely jealous of that one. We might have to work it into our trade that we eventually do.
Eventually, yes. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Steelgraft here is great too.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to do. I think we put it there. And there, I guess. Make your trades harder to do.
Yeah. That definitely does make things a lot more difficult here. I haven't played enough spells to make this worth it. I could technically do that. Next turn that dies. Yeah, this is not ideal, but I think this is my best move here.
Mm-hmm. Taking 12's pretty rough.
It is rough, but based on the rest of my hand, definitely not too many other options. Although, let's see. Now we've got hopefully this is where things start to turn around a little. You got Soul Siphon. Alright, so we're gonna go Poker into 3 Ice Storm.
Uh-huh.
I like how I just clicked on it and it got real small for a second.
Mm-hmm.
No!
There we go. I really like Botanic hits with Drix on the table.
Oh, I know. Hmm. And you got the lab too. I think this is where it's gonna get out of hand for me.
Yep. Wow. That was why I made this deck. This is like my only Centetas Lab deck. So, I was like, what sounds really fun? Centetas Lab and, and Drix.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I figured out how to make Drix and Centetta's Lab in the same deck.
Yeah, that is very true. All right, let's see. I think we just have to drop that there and kill the Drix while we can.
Huh? The house is here.
It is, and the fact that it's like takes in this state 3 attacks to kill this, while yours kills mine in 2, is pretty awesome.
Fair trade.
At this point, you just replace either way, but I think we gotta force it. A not free Swamp Moss yet again.
Sounds good. How about an Abyssal?
Yeah, that's pretty strong at the end of the cycle.
Choices.
I think you might have to. Oh, there you go. Good.
You just have to hit the confirm
Yeah.
button. What do we got here? Yeah, why not? Do I? Nah. Hmm. Uh,
Hmm.
hmm. Some mobility, you say? Well, I think we definitely play this. Yeah.
We're playing the hit, but it's what we have to hit. Hmm. I don't like that I have to use my Gale Surge, but if I don't, I'm going to be a little too far behind.
Mm-hmm.
So this will trade there. Do I mobility? If I do next turn, you could, or if I don't, you could kill this. Although I guess if I activate, yeah, you'll still be able to kill it. You know what? We're gonna play greedy here,
Mm-hmm.
and this will go here. Hmm. Well, definitely. I have to do that. At least I'm only taking 4, but I'm not in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
I lied. I'm only taking 9. think we have to.
Mm-hmm. Cycle. Turn 3 Abyssal again. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Sometimes the SolForge gods just love you, huh?
Alright, so if I don't do that, I die. So I think the way we have to do this is this. So
the other day.
So I live. Alright, what were we saying?
I was just saying the other day I was playing a deck and I had turn 1. I was playing on TTS and I had turn 1 Lyria like 3 times in a row.
Oh, that's brutal.
All 3 cycles, yeah, it was turn 1 Lyria. I was like, really?
Death touch. That's one way to do it. Yeah, so now I'm definitely dead because I could just block one and then you kill it. GG.
Kill it. How do I kill it?
With your death touch.
Oh, yeah. I do have death touch. Yeah. Let's just do that. I just forgot.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I was like, all right, at least if I could remove some stuff, I'll be in good shape to potentially live one more turn. The thing is, I know I was just like biding my days.
Yeah.
But
I knew I had to use the steel graft because of your blast.
Oh, for sure. But thank you so much for the game. This was really fun, and honestly, as a sealed list, I don't hate it. It's something that I think I'll just have to play it a little more, but I don't think
it feels pretty strong.
Yeah, especially because like, if I am able to upgrade the Warbringer's Ritual in Cycle 1 and then use it to be able to like chain into other spells and everything, it could just get out of hand. But
yeah, the red list feels pretty strong.
Yeah, the red list is what's carrying it for sure.
What?
Awesome.
You mean set 2 red is good?
Yeah, that is very true. 100% true.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the game. I got to get to bed because I have work. But let's play again sometime this week.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. See you later.
It's good seeing you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Bye. All right. So we went through. We played a couple games with the sealed list. I think like it's gonna have trouble against some set 1 good stuff like Drix. I think in general is just really hard for a deck like this to compete with because you're trying to kind of not deal with a lot of that like extra board presence, so you could kind of remove and push some breakthrough damage. So I do think Drix is a hard card for this deck to deal with, unless you could hit your Ice Storms on kind of a good curve, but there's just not a lot of great removal for him except for Botanimate. That being said, overall, it played very fun. Like, I very much enjoyed it, and I do think that the green half in general with that Botanimate was a better pair than that purple half, even with the horrific creatures. Just having that Botanimate and having some of these potential big bodies is nice. I do think that it's very unlikely to be able to get that free Swamp Moss. But there is that case where if you're not playing against something super aggressive, you could push a little bit of extra free damage with it. And then if you get lucky, you could potentially get a Hibernating Ravager with the life gain trigger as well. Overall, it's not the perfect fuse, but if I was playing in a sealed event, I would be very happy to play with it. So I might play another couple games with it on stream or on video. That being said, though, I will be playing it in the online queues throughout this week. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed both the kit opening as well as this playthrough. And we'll see you next time for when we hopefully open another kit and do another playthrough.